What's going on, boys and girls? What a Monday. What a Monday to be alive. Honestly, Arsenal 4, Tottenham 1. And we did not even have to get out of second gear. Did not even have to get out of second gear to shut those noisy North London neighbours. I'm never going to call them North London rivals again. Rivals of what? They talk so much rubbish. They love to talk about Arsenal. Get your own house in order and then come have a chat. Right now, you are noisy North London neighbours. You're mud on our shoe. And we swept you away last night without even getting out of second gear. That was easy, light work. Light work. And I loved every second of it. Let's quickly go back to the weekend on the whole. So what a weekend for Arsenal Football Club. City lose, Liverpool lose, and then comes our big moment. Everyone's watching us. Can we do it? Can we extend the lead? Can we take advantage of the slip up of our nearest rivals? And can we do it against what was meant to be a North London derby where Tottenham were there to kind of stop us in our tracks? No chance. Everyone likes to talk about Arsenal's mentality. I think this is the last thing that rival fans, commentators, media pundits can they're grasping to this straw of, yeah, but they haven't won it yet. They haven't done it. They don't know how to do it. And okay, cool. Keep hitting us with that stick. But I'm telling you, as someone who's watched every single minute of Arsenal's play this season, we are a different team. We are a different beast this season. One, because we finally have a real squad that can challenge for the Premier League. But two, I can see it in the players' eyes. I can see it in their body language. They believe that they are going to win the Premier League this season. And what fills me with confidence is not only that belief that I can see that they have, but it's the fact that they've gone through what they've gone through in these last few seasons. And people like to say that we've bottled it and that we've thrown it away. I think that is harsh, to say the least. Last season, the club did not do what they needed to do in the summer transfer window. And so, in my opinion, we did not have the squad required to compete for the Premier League. And when you factor in all the major injuries we had last season, we just never got going. There never was a title race last season. So last season, you just have to write off as a failed attempt all round. The year before that, we took City all the way to the final day. I don't think you can say that that was a failure or a bottle job. Again, I don't think we had the squad required. The season before that, that was, in my opinion, the beginning of Arteta finally having a team that was kind of to his liking. And so again, we're competing against possibly one of the greatest teams of all time in Manchester City. And so again, I don't think that was our Premier League to win. This season is different. This is our season to win it. And you can see that the entire club and the players believe that and know that. And I honestly believe they know what is required of them. I think if we turn our attention to the game, the atmosphere looked incredible. I thought that Tifu looked sick. I know we've had failed Tifus in the past with the home game against Paris Saint-Germain, but I thought that one in particular was awesome. I could feel the electricity of the ground at kickoff, and you could just see the players were up for it. You could see the players knew what this game meant, not only in terms of just it being a North London derby, but you could see that they understood the significance of winning this game and stretching that lead over the likes of City and Liverpool. And they did it with ease. They did it with ease. Honestly, we absolutely dominated Tottenham. Tottenham had nothing. I want to focus on a few particular performances. I thought that everyone in the team played incredibly well. Like, I don't think there was anyone in that team that was below an 8. But I thought Timber was immense again. Like, honestly, he has to be one of the most underrated players in the Premier League, if not world football. For me, he's the best right back in world football. I wouldn't swap him for anyone. I know Hincapié there at PSG is a special player, but I just think what Timber gives you both defensively and now even more so this season offensively, I just think the way he links up with Saka, I think those two have a really strong connection. And I think Timber had a hand in all three, in the first 3 goals. He had a hand in all 3 of them, and I just thought he was immense again. I thought Hincapié to come in for Gabriel. You know, the whole noise before the game was the fact that Gabriel was out injured and who was going to replace him and how we're going to deal with losing Gabriel. I thought Hincapié was immense. You know, for him to come in and start that game at first North London derby, I just thought he was immense. He won every duel, he won every header, he was calm, he was composed. I was worried a little bit about would he kind of lose his head, you know, his South American flair, passion, aggression, all that kind of stuff. Rock solid, absolutely rock solid. I thought Declan Rice, I mean, what is there left to say about Declan Rice? He is the heartbeat of this team, in my opinion. And again, he got it. He knew what this was. He knew what it meant. He knew what it was all about. And he just did not stop running. He was constantly picking the ball off other players' feet, winning duels, driving forward, coming back, everything you want from that central midfielder. I thought Saka looked good. Not one of his best games, but you know, was kind of always a threat. I thought Trossard did unbelievably well. I thought Trossard had a really good game. You know, that first goal is always the most important goal in a game of this nature. And you know, that was him who got that first goal. A slightly fortunate deflection, but you know, the control to take that pass from Merino, to do the spin, to get a shot away, you know, that was a great goal. And then Merino, again, I thought that pass, that assist for that first goal was beautiful. That was kind of Ozil-like, the way he just kind of curled that in there for Trossard to run onto. I thought, you know, apart from that piece of brilliance from Merino, I thought he had an okay game. Like, he never stopped running. He was constantly trying to press, put Vicario and the defenders under pressure. And, you know, he played his role in what was a really good team performance. But I think what I liked about it was just a really professional job. It was in an incredibly potentially tough game, you know, all eyes watching us, hoping that we stumble. Tottenham there to try and supposedly, you know, ruin the party. I just thought we looked incredibly composed and in control, and we just looked levels above Tottenham, and we just didn't have to get out of second gear, like I said. So really, really, really good result. And I've left the main man to last. I thought Eze. I've been saying for a few weeks now that I think Eze has been, I don't want to say disappointing, but I just don't think Eze hasn't done what I was hoping he was going to do when he kind of stepped into this football club. That doesn't mean he hasn't had moments. He's had great moments. That assist for Martinelli against Man City, the goal against Crystal Palace. He's had moments, but I've really been waiting for him to just kind of take this team and drive us forward and be that game winner, that difference maker. And this was that game. He was just, he finally took that 10 role and put his stamp on it. And the 3 goals were beautiful. Left, right, it doesn't matter. Like the shots he got off, the goals that he scored, I just thought he was sublime. Absolutely sublime. And what a sweet story, you know. For 24, 48 hours there, it looked like he was going to Tottenham after all this kind of talk and courting during the summer, thinking he was going to come to Arsenal, and then all of a sudden he's going to Tottenham, and then we kind of rip him from their grasp right at the end and he signs for Arsenal. For him to go and score a hat-trick against Tottenham the way he did, it was just fairy tale stuff. I was surprised Arteta didn't make more changes, or at least didn't make his changes slightly earlier in the game. Like, we have a massive week this week. I know Tottenham got that goal back to make it 3-1, which was disappointing from Zubimendi. I think it was just him being lazy and probably overly confident on the ball there, and I think he just figured he had more time than he did. So that was a really sloppy goal to give away. But even at 3-1, with like 20 minutes to go, I was sitting there going, this game's so under control. Why not rest a couple of players, given that we've got Bayern Munich during the week and then we've got Chelsea away on the weekend? I would have liked to have seen substitutions made earlier and just some of our star players being given a little bit more of a rest. You know, I would have taken Saka off after 70. I would have taken Declan Rice off. I would have taken Timber off. I just would have made some changes earlier if it would have been me. But at the end of the day, we got the win, and that's all that matters. I really think this Bayern Munich game needs to be, as much as I would love to see us go full strength into that Bayern Munich game and put a marker down and beat Bayern Munich, who are arguably probably the best team in European football right now in terms of form. You'd love for us to go and put a statement win there, but I just think that game against Chelsea is massive. Chelsea are one of those teams where they can be either scintillating or they can be quite poor. But I think at home, at Stamford Bridge, against Arsenal, coming off the back of the win, they know if they beat us, they go 3 points behind us. I think they're going to be fired up for that game. And so I am sitting here right now saying I would like to see potentially some players rested for that Bayern Munich game so that we can go into that game against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge a little bit fresher. I think if he goes and plays a similar team against Bayern and then tries to play a similar team against Chelsea, that's going to be a big ask for the players. And if I'm picking one game as the more important game, it's definitely Chelsea away in the Premier League, because we've just gone and beat Tottenham. We've created that gap. If we go and lose to Chelsea on the weekend, it just kind of undoes all that work that we've done against Tottenham. So I think in the Champions League, we can afford to draw or lose this game, and it doesn't really impact what's happening in the Champions League for us. So I am going to say it now. I would make the Bayern Munich game the sacrificial lamb if I was in charge. Does that mean that I think we should be going into that Bayern Munich game with the mentality of, well, if we don't win, we don't win? No, I think even with the changes with Madueke, it was great to see Madueke on the bench, Martinelli on the bench. I think Odegaard might make the bench for this game, so it'd be great to see some of those players come in and get some minutes. Demonieri, Norgard, Ben White, Lewis Skelly. I think there's opportunities to rest and still have a really good go at Bayern Munich. But fundamentally, that game against Chelsea for me is pivotal. That is the must win. And I want a fully fresh, fully recharged, ready to go Arsenal team for that away match against Chelsea. So yeah, what more is there to say? We move, we keep going. And so much of me right now wants to sit here and say with chest that we're winning the Premier League this season. But I'm just going to hold fire a little bit longer. But it's looking good. It's looking good. And I'm not going to prescribe to this whole, do they have the mentality for it? Because I honestly believe we do. The one thing I will say this season is we are different. We're a different beast. I can see it in the players. I can see it in Arteta. We're not going to let this one slip by. We're not. So there, that's about as good as me saying we're going to win it. But anyway, what a day. Enjoy your week. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.